Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be going over the last step in the application process, which is the incentive claim step. As always, to get started, please navigate to calsoma.org and then click apply/login in the upper right-hand corner. From here, you will click returning users, select your utility company, and then click login, and it will take you to the PowerClerk homepage. From here, I'll click login, and it should take me to this page right here. And you can click View Edit. And then from there, you can see that I was previously in Progress Payment Pathway and it's been approved. If you did not participate in Progress Payment Pathway, then this will likely just say Proof of Project Milestone Approved. From there, you'll scroll down to Available Forms and it will say Incentive Claim Package, and you can click Begin. I already started it, so I'll just click Continue. And then from there, you can review the previous information that you had filled in. So host, customer, and project site information is the first page. You'll just check to make sure everything looks correct. If it looks correct, feel free to move on. If it doesn't and you can't change it, please reach out to someone from the SOMAH PA and we can update it for you. Next is system owner information. Just check that this looks correct, and then you can move forward. And then solar contractor information. This should be correct. If you are using a subcontractor, please navigate to this page and click yes, or has a subcontractor company completed any elements of this PV installation? And then you'll just select your subcontractor and put in a description of the work that they completed. But otherwise, if you didn't use a subcontractor, just click no and you can move forward. From there, it will take you to payee information, which here I have filled in because I participated in progress payment. And if you did participate in that optional milestone, then the payee for progress payment and incentive claim will have to be the same. So that's why this is filled in. If you didn't participate, this should be blank. So then you can fill in the information of who you want to be paid out for the incentive claim. And then here for who should the payment be made out to, you can choose from either the company name or a specific contact at the company. I'll go with company name, and you can choose method of payment, so whether you want a check or an electronic payment. If you choose check, no additional fields will pop up, but if you choose electronic payment, please make sure to put in your bank account number and routing number so that we can wire the money over to you. And then you'll just put in your bank name and choose whether it is a checking or a savings account. From there, it'll take you to a page that I'm sure you're familiar with, which is the System Information and Incentive Calculation page. This is a page that you filled out a bunch of times, but we are asking you to please review and make any updates before you submit it for incentive claim. So here, if you need to make updates to total purchase price, carport mounted PV, or on-site energy storage updates, please do so here. And then it'll ask you to select the mounting location for your PV system. So we do ask that you fill this out. If you're only doing a rooftop or a carport or grounded, select one of those. If you have several different types, then you are welcome to select as many as you need if it applies. I'll be choosing rooftop and carport. And then here, similar to the previous milestones, it'll ask if you've applied any other incentive programs, and if you have, it'll just ask how much. From there, please also fill in this field, which asks if the VNEM load allocation has changed from what is listed below. If it has changed, you'll just have to update it here. If it has not changed, then just click no and you can move forward. And then here you'll see your PV system specification where you can choose your inverters and PV arrays. So if there's any updates to your PV system, please fill them out here because we do require an on-site inspection for a final inspection, and we need to make sure that whatever is in PowerClerk matches what we see on site. So please make sure this is accurate. If you need to change it, then you'll have to recalculate your PV system specs. If you don't change it, then this will already be up to date. Here, estimated annual production for tenant and common area. I chose 100% tenant area allocation, so there's nothing here for common area. But if you have a different allocation, it'll show the kilowatt hours for each. And then here, you'll see maximum incentivized annual production and then unincentivized annual production. So if you are producing more than your maximum incentivized production, there is going to be a certain amount that we're not incentivizing since we don't incentivize oversized systems. So that'll be listed here. And then here it'll just ask for any system costs. If they're the same, feel free to move forward. If they need to be updated, please do so here. And then if you've updated your PV system, you're going to have to recalculate your incentive, which you can do so in this section. If you did not touch your PV system and everything's already up to date, then you can leave this as is and just move forward. From here, you'll see that we have a section called fleet monitoring, and then you can choose your inverter manufacturer. If it's not listed, no worries. You will just have to fill in the performance monitoring system owner contact. But we may in the future update this list. So please choose a contact that we can reach out to for additional information if for some reason your inverter manufacturer does end up being on this list. But from there, if you have one of these three, we do have fields that you'll need to fill out for each inverter manufacturer. So for SolarEdge, it'll ask you for these fields, and you can click down here, SolarEdge PDF instructions, for instructions on how to fill it out. If you are using Enphase, same process here. You'll just fill out these fields and then click Enphase PDF instructions. And then if you're using SMA, same thing, just scroll down to this PDF and it will provide you with information on how to fill out this section in the incentive claim form using your SMA, Enphase, or SolarEdge information. I am just going to choose other, and then I'll put in my contact. And then if you have someone else that you want to put in down here who's responsible for either system repairs or site access or just another good person that we can reach out to, please check this box and then fill out their information here. And then for any questions regarding fleet monitoring in general, or if you need help filling this out, or if something's not working, you can contact techassist@calsoma.org, and someone from our team will be happy to reach out to you and walk you through the process. Next, it'll just ask for the PMRS information, which is the Performance Monitoring and Reporting Service information. So per the SOMAH handbook, we do require that there be a contact that we can reach out to in case we notice that your system is not working or underperforming, or if something just comes up, we would like to be able to contact someone to let them know. So that is this person, and you can enter in their information here. And then from there, it'll prompt you to put in information about who your inspection contact is. So at incentive claim, we do require a final inspection where our inspector can verify that all the information that you put into PowerClerk is correct and matches what is on site. So please put in someone here who is a good contact for us to reach out to schedule the inspection, and also who can walk the inspector through on site. And then it'll also ask some questions about the site that'll help the inspector know what to expect. So, is there any restriction access to any of the PV equipment? So, like, are keys needed to access the NJOM, the inverters, or the modules? You know, is there no roof access, and so on? Just whatever restrictions there are to where the inspector might not be able to actually go in and verify certain information because he can't reach it. So, if no, you can move forward. If yes, it'll ask what the existing property access restrictions are. So please also fill that in. And then does this project include roof mounted PV? So if it does, it'll just ask like how tall is the building and can we access the roof? What is the roofing material? And are the inverters generally located on the roof or on the ground? And then if they do not include roof-mounted PV, you can just click no. And then it'll also ask how many net generation output meters or NJOMs are associated with this project. Just fill in that number and then you can move forward. Here, it'll ask you for job training information. As mentioned in the previous milestone, this is a required field and section for the incentive claim. You may have already had some information filled out here from your previous milestone, but if not, please fill it out here. If you need some more help or information on job training requirements, you can go to calsoma.org/resources/job training requirements. And we will have a PDF here on how to find a job trainee, why we need job trainees, and just a ton of information that would be really helpful if you have any questions. If you have any further questions after reading that, you can reach out to our workforce development team, which is workforce@calsoma.org. But other than that, please fill in the information for your job trainees. And then from there, it will prompt you to this tab, which is the Energy Efficiency Compliance Milestone tab. If you've already filled out this information, it'll just tell you to move forward. And if you haven't, it'll just give you the fields to fill it out. Finally, it'll ask you for a couple of last questions and then for you to submit your documentation. So when did the solar installation at the project site begin? Please fill that out here. And then let us know who completed the tenant education. And then it'll ask, did the property apply for other energy programs between the reservation date and today? If you clicked yes, we may or may not reach out to you, and then whether it participated in other energy programs in there. And then here, should the application deposit be returned to a party other than the payer? So if yes, then it'll ask you who the app deposit should be refunded to. If no, then we'll just refund it to the original payer. And then the method of payment. And then here, if you would like us to email the app deposit refund email, you can also select this box and we'll make sure to include that email address when we email out the notice. And then here for documentation, it will ask for a couple of different forms. You can generate a lot of them here. So for the incentive claim form, the affidavit ensuring tenant education, and the job training affidavit, you can all generate here. And then once you download them, you can see that most of the information's been pre-filled already from Power Clerk. And then the host customer, contractor, or whoever the party is will just have to sign and date it. And then here for the final VNM load allocation form, this is not something you can generate in Power Clerk, but if you go here to our website, go to Program Resources, Application Process, and Documents, you can find the VNM allocation form in the reservation request package. So just click the little plus sign to expand it, and then click Documents to submit, and it will give you sort of a template to fill it out. So I will go with SDG&E since that's the utility I'm currently working in. As you can see, here is the VNM allocation form that you can fill out. So if it's the same VNM load allocation, then you can just submit that one. If it's a different VNM load allocation, please update this form and submit it in this slot right here. This is what you're filing with the utility, and this is what they're verifying when they look at the incentive claim package and review it. So please make sure this is accurate. And then from there, you are pretty much good to go. And you can submit your incentive claim package And just to notice here, if your project has not received PTO from the utility, please do not submit the incentive claim package. We will not schedule an inspection until you've received PTO. And if you submit this without receiving PTO, we may issue an infraction. So please make sure that that is completed before submitting. But if you did submit with PTO, you're good to go. If not, please reach out to us and we will move the application back so that you can get PTO before you submit. And then from here, you can verify that your application has been submitted. If you look at current status, it'll say incentive claim submitted right here, and it'll give you a time and date stamp of the submission. From here, the SOMAH PA member will review the application, and if everything looks good, we will move it into pending inspection. And from there, our inspector will reach out to schedule the inspection, and then they will likely either meet you on site or meet a contact of yours on site so that they can walk through and verify that all the information that you submitted is correct. And then once we receive the inspection results back, we will make any changes that are needed in PowerClerk to your PV system, or if no changes are needed, then we'll just move it forward. But either way, once everything is updated and correct and matches what's on site, we will move it into the IOU's queue. And from there, they'll review, and if they approve it, then we will start working on paying you out for the project. And if not, then we'll just let you know what edits are needed. And then we'll resubmit to the IOU for review and then move on.